Welcome again to Joe Stunner Boxing. You may have heard, I posted something on the community page of this channel, that NAOYA INOUE versus Sam Goodman is off for a second time. Goodman from Australia has apparently had a recurrence of the cut that he suffered, resulted in the postponement of the fight the first time round. It was meant to be on 24th of December, Christmas Eve. Then it was 24th of January. And something's happened, so Goodman is out. But the show will go on, as they say, because Yejun Kim of South Korea has stepped in to fight Inoue on that same date, 24th of January. So not that long to go, just over 3 weeks. Don't forget, I think this will be a midweek fight, midweek card. It's over in Japan. And do we know anything about Yejun Kim? Because frankly, I don't. So I did what we all do. I went and had a quick look on BoxRec, watched a few bits and pieces on YouTube. He's 32, like I say, he's from South Korea, from Seoul. He's 5'4" tall. He's an orthodox fighter. And from the odds and sods that I watched, he looks capable, very capable. He turned pro in 2012, so he was 19 when he turned pro, roughly. Very much a veteran. He's spent almost all of his career at super bantam, so you would assume that at 32 he's, if anything, he has to boil down to make the weight. Hopefully he can do it comfortably. But I didn't see any recognisable names on his record at all, not really. I may have seen him fight before, but I can't remember it. And if I don't remember fighters, it's normally because they're either, just okay, or, nothing stands out about them. Only the fighters where they really show you something do you think, oh, I'm going to remember him. But he seems like a capable, honest pro. Now, there was one huge alarm bell that went off when I looked at his record, and that is that in April, I think it was, of 2023, he lost a majority 8-round decision in the United States to a guy called Rob Diesel. And Rob Diesel had 14 wins, 9 defeats, and no draws. And he beat our friend from South Korea, Mr. Yejun Kim. He beat him. And since then, Kim has only had 2 fights against pretty much nondescript opposition, a guy with an 8-3 record called John Basson. That was over in Australia. And then over in Thailand, he beat a guy with a 15-3-1 record, stopped him in 5 rounds. John Basson, he stopped him in a round. So he's only had 6 rounds since 2023 when he lost to Rob Diesel, or Diesel, or however you pronounce it. Diesel, probably. He's only had handful of rounds. So not exactly, he doesn't instill a great deal of confidence when you consider he's going in with Inoue, because we know all about Inoue. I'm not going to go through his career, but he is 28-0 with 25 KOs. One would expect him to smash right through Yejun Kim early. Kim has never been stopped. He's got, of the 2 defeats he's got, one was a 4-rounder very, very early on in his career. It doesn't mean anything. And the other one was that kind of alarming upset by Mr. Diesel less than 2 years ago. So, okay, he's never had a world title fight before. He's 32. He's not going to say no, is he? Because this is an undisputed super bantamweight title fight. Excuse me. And of his 21 wins, he's got 13 KOs against, again, opponents that I'm not familiar with. If I've seen them fight, I can't remember them. But realistically, do I give him a chance against Inoue? No, I make this a 90-10 fight. The 90%, you'll be surprised to hear, goes to Inoue. Only 10% for Mr. Kim, but this is not to say that, stunning, alarming upsets don't sometimes happen. Most recently of all, would you have thought that what was his name, Saras, the Frenchman, with 4 KOs, would knock out Jaime Munguia with one punch. It's just one of those things. It can happen. Very, very rare, but it can happen. And if Inoue isn't concentrating, if he thinks, well, I've only got to turn up and swat this guy aside, and Kim is fighting out of his skin and showing levels that we haven't seen before, which is possible but unlikely, maybe he can make a bit of a name for himself. But I always think with people who are given these sort of late, very late opportunities where they're regarded as no-hopers, it is the original Rocky story, isn't it? You know, the no-hoper comes in, no one gives him a chance of winning, and he overachieves. And if you've seen the Rocky movies, you'll know in the first Rocky movie, he gave Apollo Creed hell and lost a decision, which led to a rematch. So if Kim can, I don't know, maybe score a flash knockdown or take Inoue into the later rounds, or even the distance, which would be astonishing, his stock will rise. He is 32, which isn't young for a super bantamweight, but yeah, you know, it's unlikely that Inoue is going to have any problems, because Inoue is a consummate professional. He lives the life, he stays disciplined, he's always on it. He's a little bit cavalier, as you would expect with someone with that style. Of course, he was floored by Neary, but Lewis Neary ended up going on the floor himself and eventually getting knocked Spark out. So, yeah, it's hard to see anything but an Inoue win early, I would say. You know, but we'll give Mr. Kim a chance. Yejun Kim. If you know anything about Yejun Kim, leave your comments below. But of course, you know, we want Inoue to move on to bigger and better things. This must have been frustrating for him. You know, what with Goodman putting out twice, but sometimes in the game these things happen. And you know, we want to see him in with who is it? MJ, don't we? Murajan Akhmadaliev. We want to see that fight. Maybe that'll be next. And then he'll probably ease his way up to featherweight. But we'll see. Anyway, if you do know anything about our friend from South Korea, please leave your comments below, or anything else you've got to say, leave it below. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. You can help us out. That'd be a good deal. And click that like button and all, because it helps the channel out. Many, many thanks for your time, for all your support. I always appreciate it. I always say that, but it happens to be the truth. I do appreciate it, and I'm looking forward to reading your comments. All right. Welcome to the weekend, ladies and gentlemen. Have a good one. Bye for now.